Attention, slippery surface. Alright, I think it's time to get into some more spicy stuff. There is that hallway, and we about to get in to see what it has and what it was. Wait, did you hear that? Yo, what's up everyone? Well, today I'm going to be taking you through a journey. We're going to go explore the legendary Kyrenia Castle in northern Cyprus. Alright, well, stick around as we dive into the discovery of this legendary structure that I get to discover once again, because it's not the first time, but this time with y'all on the channel. So yeah, let's see you there. And for the record, I didn't prepare any script for that video, for this video. So the only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk you through it, and we're all gonna discover every single part of it together. There are some boats around here. There is a type of port here, very open, more for touristic purposes, maybe for fishing if they do. And if you ever got a chance to come over, you could probably have, the opportunity to go and have a tour on the Mediterranean Sea, which I think is a very good experience to have, about exploring the world a little bit. So here I am, I'm about to go and take the ticket, and we'll be going into the castle. The entrance is just right there. Right here. All right, y'all, I got my ticket, and we about to go and get into it. And I feel like it's gonna be a great adventure that I'm not about to forget, and probably y'all on the channel too. So stick around, and we're about to discover all together the Kyrenia Castle. Alright y'all, here's where our adventure starts. Well, this old castle, apparently according to what I read in the stories, was built back in the time by the Byzantine empires in the 7th century. And many of the old artifacts that we're finding here date back to the 4th century before Christ. It was mainly built to protect themselves against some Arabic raids. And I don't know a lot of things about that, but I think we'll be discovering way more and way much as we dive in, to the exploration of this old ruin. Already at the entrance, we got a chance to explore the Byzantine chapel that is hidden down these roads. And I do not have lights, so I'll be using my phone's flashlight. As I said at the beginning, I didn't plan, any lighting sets for this video. So bear with me, and next time remind me that I gotta bring a light, right? Down the road, as we're going, descend here. This is the inside of the chapel, the Byzantine chapel. And yeah, we can see the old looking fashion architecture carved into this space. That's very interesting. Here's one of the most important and the most iconic museum of them all. We're here to talk about a shipwreck that's hidden into here. Here, we got an ephod. This is a very iconic and interesting piece hidden in this old museum. And its story is simply that it was something that they were using back in time to be storing things, or simply for transportation of their goods. And if you're wondering what ephod mean, it's simply a type of picture that, has a very, let's say, particular and intriguing form though. Let's keep going. We got here an old mock-up of a boat. Interestingly, illustrated. And down here some more things that were preciously kept in order for us to recover very, very ancient part of the story of this island. Let's keep going. Alright y'all, we about to get into a very interesting place. Here. Down here is a shipwreck, a very old boat that have been stored in this room. It's actually very cold in here. I think they're actually preventing it to be rotten or something, even if it's pretty much the case already. But yeah, you know, we intend to be keeping history, you know, preciously that you won't be forgotten. Imagine what happened on this boat. They're probably, I don't know, warriors or soldiers with swords and arrows fighting battles and everything. What a very, you know, interesting thing to discover. All right, let's keep going. Well, this whole place is just surrounded with many ancient pieces, preciously kept for this new generation to be discovering what it was or what they had to experience back in time. Right, y'all, here are some other old artifacts carved back in time by our ancestors. I mean, their ancestors of the island. And, you know, we got some weird representation that are few just are recognizable. This might be an old version of a machete. We got something here that looks like a spear, and here maybe an old version of some type of jewelry. Look at this beautiful canvas. Just a look of what it was to be living back in time. It's directly just led me into the story like I was right next to them. Oh, he's trying to, you know, on the fire. We got a very interesting set of piece of ceramic down in here. You know, just drive us back into what it was to be living at that time once again, and kind of just, you know, introducing us to the story. I gotta spare you from, you know, these details. Let's keep going. If you hold a lamp or a flashlight on your phone, you might as well just recognize that these were probably like one of the first versions of what you're holding in your hands right now. Alright, these are some type of oil lamps in the form of teapots, conceived by the ancestors of this place. We can also have here a giant ant tuning on the lights on these very interesting teapot-like lamps. Just for some funny time, we got here Uncle trying to get the food ready while Auntie out there is trying to turn on the fire. The old way, you know, you got the oven today and you don't even care of how long it can take for you to have the fire and start cooking. But here, that's how it was back in time. Let's keep going. Alright, y'all, here we are. This place is called the Lusignan Dungeon, and it has various weird stories. And for people that have watched old movies, I'm pretty sure that you can recognize this old artifact and what it's, you know, it has as an impact in the lives of our fellow prisoners back in time. While getting in here, we got a priest about to decree the sentence. I'm not gonna show you what is happening to the one who actually leave the sentence, because for some reasons, right? And we'll just keep going. There is another story on this side, a very tragic story of a jealous queen who decided to throw her, you know, her pregnant friend called Joanna Dalman down in this hole for some royalty reasons and jealousy. I'm not gonna show that to you. Very rude. Anyway, we're gonna keep going. And yeah, that's not a real person. It's simply a kind of replicated ceramic version of the queen, Joanna Dalman. Let's keep going. Attention, slippery surface. All right, I think it's time to get into some more spicy stuff. There is that hallway, and we're about to get in to see what it has and what it was. Wait, did you hear that? Right, anyway, let's get in. Okay, down this hallway, back in time, there were people that were living here. They were doing their days, spending their time and everything. And you know, when I'm looking at that, is like, okay, there is definitely a very significant jump in the time. All right, our modern houses are definitely way more suitable for a human being to be living in, and these here are, I don't know, just not suitable at all. All right, let's just keep going. Down this hallways, there is just something a little weird about their architecture and the way it was built. Is that there are parts where it's high and other ones that are very short. It's very intriguing for people like me that are tall, and it's hard to be living in here. I'm questioning myself about the people that were tall and how they had to do to fit, all right, in the space. Well, even all as it is, we have windows and also other entries down here, all right. Oh, what is that for? Look, there is a little hole here. Not quite sure what it was built for, but it was surely for some weird purposes. Maybe a chamber. Alright, bear with me as we just keep diving deep into the ruins of this old place with my phone. Next time, remind me in the comments to be bringing a light when I'm going to search old places in case I don't have light, so that we can have a more immersed adventure of what it looks like to get down deep into the ruins of such places. What was that hole for? Questioning myself about that. Oh, did you hear that? I'm kidding. Let's keep going. But yeah, they were intuitive and they decided to be putting some lights. And as I keep moving, they keep turning on. But still, it's not preventing us to feel a little, scared somehow when you're down here. But yeah, we're almost at the end of our adventure. So yeah, let's just go to the last part of it all. Wait, did you hear that? All right, let's go. That would be a crime for me to be coming here on this legendary place and not get you on top of it. All right, so right now we're heading on top on this very little stairs that have been built. I don't know if it was by our current builders or the old ones, but still they do look weird. All right, y'all, I am on top of it. We got the mountains right there, with the clouds in it. The city of Kyrenia. Down here, I feel like I'm on top of the world right now. And then the Mediterranean Sea. Well, considering the opportunity that is given to all the tourists to come over in this legendary castle and visit and have a look, there are still some places that remains more kind of confidential and forbidden. So our adventure is going to be ending here. And I had to visit all the places I was allowed to get in, and that was a good adventure. So let's head out.